guess I'll start with, how is your training typically structured, and when did you start that?
Mm-hmm. So I hired a few therapists initially and did basically no training, and then built out some of these things of just, or how do you use the booking system? Like literally, like how do you rebook somebody and take payment and stuff like that? And found that we got very variable results in their performance. And quite often, a lot of the therapists weren't rebooking well. And it was very hard work as the business owner. I was constantly having to focus on getting new clients in. I feel like all the burden of responsibility was on my shoulders. And I really wasn't equipped to have, those sorts of tough conversations of kind of saying, look, you want to be part of this, you need to put some effort in. I just found those very, very kind of difficult. I then got lucky with a few therapists that showed very good initiative. And I was like, cool, I've got this. Still didn't really have any training, like no regular meetings. We didn't even have break times at the same time because they were contractors. They would just pick their hours. Then I got another few bad hires and I was like, what's going on? I thought I got this sorted. And then I realized actually, I've been relying on the initiative and the sort of the nat nous, as we say over here, but like the ability to sort of like streetwiseness of the ones who were like, actually, no, I'm going to learn myself how to rebook. And that began a whole journey of like, oh my God, there's actually a lot in here to reliably create a therapist. You can see that raw potential. I don't think anybody hires anyone because they're like, oh, you're going to be a rubbish therapist. But there's actually loads of stuff, if you are busy as yourself, that you learn through trial and error over potentially years. You're potentially expecting a therapist who, there's kind of a reason they're working for someone else, because they're not building their own business. So they actually do need more support and guidance. So now, sort of fast forwarding through a lot of trial and error. And as we moved premises as well, me and my clinic manager, we sat down and we were kind of like, right, let's go big or go home. Let's genuinely create the type of business that we want. And it feels like it's going to be a big risk, but let's put loads of training time into people. Let's build this, because at least then we can trust the training and know that we've done a really good job training. And then if that person still isn't performing, we know that then that's the time to have the conversation and let them go. And actually, so far, touch wood, everyone who's gone through has done really, really well and been successful. But the way that it looks for us, there's two components. But when somebody joins, we have, we call it level 1 and level 2 training. But level 1 is like the how to do a booking, how to lock up, how this, and it's kind of the boring stuff that no one's that excited about with stuff. And our level 2 training is kind of the why, or getting them to start thinking about, why do we even do it this way? What's our purpose here? If our sole goal is to be trying to help clients, how does learning how to change the dehumidifier actually help? We don't actually have a lesson on that, but it's to try and be like, the reason that we're doing this is because we want to create a good environment. We want to also do it at this time of the day, so that it's out the way and done, so that mentally you're free and prepared. So we have those style trainings, and then from that we then have like team-based ones where we then sit and do discussion. So what I've learned, and this is potentially a good sort of system for anyone to sort of implement, is that there's we break it into sort of like a learn, reflect and discuss. So learn can be done solo. You can sit and watch a video, you can sit and read a book, you can do this, that and the other. But that's important. We need the knowledge of how to either communicate with a client better, or pain science, or whatever it might be, or how to read budgets. But we need them to reflect, because otherwise, if you don't think about in your own head different scenarios and stuff. So we have a lot of worksheets that we'll use, like just quick and easy stuff, but the process of writing down I find really helps. But the key thing in all of this, with any training, if you really want people to level up, is the discussion. They need to have the real world examples and say, well, but what about this scenario? Or I had this client the other day, and we do this with treatment often. They'll come and ask your advice. Or I had this client who, their knee was a lot worse, or their skin's broken out again after I did this treatment and I don't know why. We do it for treatment, but we don't tend to do it for perhaps rebooking as much, or client communication, or understanding why your diary goes quiet after a holiday and these sorts of things. So the learn, reflect and discuss is a key kind of part of what the training kind of looks like for us. And that seems to have made a big difference in how quickly people learn.